Hey guys, so with the recent drama that's been going on, and everyone has been, well, kind of making videos, I'll get into everything if I can because there's so much stuff. Anyways, I feel like I have to. Not because I need reviews, but because I genuinely need to. And you all know my channel and how much of a Quill fan I was. Keyword was. Anyways, quick disclaimer for some topics. Rocks, cheese pizza, grooming-ish, and a bit of manipulation. Now, let's get into the video. Let me take you back to a time where every Dandy Sword player knows, 2024. If you're wondering why I'm not beginning with 2026, just know that this part is still important to the story. In 2024, or around June, Dandy's World was first created. The game was unique and was small, and didn't have that much moderation in their server. Of course, however, they did try. Sometime later in 2024, Rocks got exposed for grooming, drawing cheese pizza of actual minors, and manipulating. A lot towards the kid and Quill, but still. Of course, however, once Quill found out, she immediately fired Rocks and banned him from the server. Of course, however, the fandom was a bit of a war zone around that time. And Rocks did make a response vid, but that isn't really important in terms of what we're covering. Oh, and that also led to them removing most of the items, Easter eggs, and even character animations, leading to them to be changed or straight up deleted. And around 2025, Rocks made a really long, and I mean really long document. It was Rocks Mox or whatever. Basically, to sum up the 83-page long snooze fest of dog water updates, it's basically just boring reworks or tunes or other things if he was still the developer. It got clowned on from the absurdity. Okay, old drama out of the way now. So, we now have reached 2026. 2 long years of updates, events, and more tunes. And then drama came around. It all started when a YouTuber named Duck Adam posted a video saying that Quill was lying to us all along. Of course, however, nobody trusted him because he's not the most reliable source of information, and was also pretty problematic. However, once more videos started to come out and more drama began rising, a week later, Quill shut down the entire Discord server. Currently, it's still closed. And she also recorded somebody named Sam while they were venting. They were venting about being a pro shipper without their consent. And they're also a pro shipper that got groomed into it. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that Rocks not only got fired, Rocks only got fired because of the immense backlash Quill was receiving. Some more info on the way! Quill got leaked and Quill got doxed and her full name got leaked. Moderators required while the Discord server was still open and would even silence people giving their opinions on the situation. Quill not only stated that she could not know, Quill also stated that she couldn't know about the situation because they had swept it under the rug. And it is also common for Quill to dodge the backlash received from any drama sparked in the community, so much so that it sparked a pattern. Also, some things that the old moderator, aka Pinky, says that Quill tends to leave the staff to fend for themselves. Quill is willing to be compliant and passive and will outright go silent and let anyone bear the brunt of the hate. She also hates accountability, and she apparently got manipulated but still kept Rocks around even after he was exposed for being weird. Personally, this situation is super hard to gather consistent information and be somewhat non-outdated. However, that still doesn't mean that I won't do it. Also, I'm particularly disgusted by Quill's actions. Not only is her actions making the situation worse, I also stated once that I was her #1 fan. But now, I'm never gonna defend her again in this situation. It is heated and very messy. Also, more updates and information is kind of hard to keep up with because if push comes to shove, I might end up making a part 2 if more information comes out. There are victims of this situation that need recognition as well as support. And some are Chip, Pinky, Joji, Prawn Stellion, and also no, this isn't information that's old, and the times for the community are very hard, so don't be discouraged, please. Also, at the time of making this video, Quell hasn't responded at all, or given us a proper response, Quell! The video I'm about to play for you contains a call between Quella, Rox, and Duck, with commentary by Duck occasionally. Also, disclaimer, there might be some suggestive art in the corner.
Censored, but less censored.
Yeah.
The
people talking there are X-Trio and Void. I think it's Void. It sounds like Void.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a drawing by Rock Serpent depicting an adult and a minor, both fictional characters, unlike his other art, which are both depictions of real people and both minors. Right? This is one in a pretty small series. There's one other art depicting these two characters. It's pretty disgusting. What is notable is that it is sent here and it is very little cropped. It's hardly censored and it's pretty obvious exactly what it is. And as you'll see, it is explained exactly to Quell.
Like I said, it's deplorable.
Rock Serpent admitting that this art is bad.
I'm not going to sit here.
So, okay, I'm trying to get the context. So what's going on? Both of these were minors. Is that what you
one?
Okay, in this drawing, it is an adult and a minor. Shinzu, the person speaking, is getting it confused with a other art by Rock Serpent, made under the exact same context as this one, as will be mentioned shortly. Although that art depicts two minors being Gary and another anonymous victim.
One was an adult, one was a minor.
Rock Serpent admitting that this drawing depicts an adult and a minor, which does make it shock.
Oh.
Yeah, the Gary stuff was both minors.
Extra explaining what the Gary stuff is, so.
Yeah, that was the Gary stuff.
Okay.
Rock Serpent admitting that the, quote, Gary stuff, aka his other does depict two minors.
Okay, which was the Stickman stuff.
The Stickman stuff is a sort of lie that Quell uses. It is fairly true for much of the art he had drawn, especially in some contexts where it was pretty poorly drawn, but that doesn't take away from the fact exactly what the art is, CP, because it depicts two minors engaging in act. It doesn't matter on the skill or detail added by the artist, it matters on what the art actually is.
But this wasn't. Huh. I don't know how to feel. Shit, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that drawing. I'm guessing
it's pretty bad.
Rock Serpent saying it's pretty bad in reference to pretty much all of his art, not only the one shown, because, it's kind of the one he's more directly referring to, but again, the rest of his art is pretty disgusting. Rock Serpent here admits it is bad.
It's pretty bad.
I'm guessing the one with their tongue sticking out is the minor.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh my god.
Rock Serpent admits that fact, so pretty much admitting that, yeah, it is CP because it shows a minor in a...
Yeah, that's not good.
It's disgusting.
That is Quevler speaking, that is her saying directly that it is disgusting and that she is not a fan of this art. So why did she keep him around for 2 months?
Exactly.
The biggest detail is exactly what this disproves. A message from Quell in her response to Parlo says that she hadn't known the full context of this art, even though in this exact call, she has the exact context explained to her. Right? That being that it was made for someone else, that it's CP because it depicts an adult and a minor talking about other art that depicts a minor on a minor, and yet she didn't think it was bad at all, even when she saw one of the most in-detail drawings. And of course, as known by the Spooketer messages, she was likely, and I say likely loosely because she like 100% did, years ago, that she was made aware of art Jake had drawn depicting Gary and another minor. as shown by her DMs with Spookener and what Spookener told him. Something that always pissed me off was, people always thinking, and Quell trying to say this herself, that it's not reliable because it's just Spookener's word, even though this is his direct responses to Quell in a VC, right? Only that his messages were archived. And of course, he tells Hilo that exact knowledge that he had gained from Quell, which would result in what would come.
But as I've told you, and I'll say to X here, I obviously vowed to never draw shit like that ever again, and obviously I myself don't support it. This was only drawn for this person.
That was pretty terrible, if you ask me. I mean, like, dude, what on earth? Anyways, these next couple of clips are from different YouTubers. They just provide more essence on the story, and yeah.
Chip posted further evidence, and I can testify being aware of Prawn's Telegin and Quell being close. She introduced me to them on VR chat to have a chat with Sam, because Quell described them to me as well-meaning but troubled. Apologies for the low-quality screenshot, but here's a more closer up to the screenshots of the conversation. Appears this was another victim of the situation, and Quell was offering to show them to a friend they had. I am not too sure how to further explain the screenshots, but if you want to take a closer look to them and see for yourself, you can. Later on,
along with telling him to keep his head held high and how it's okay to cry, which is being friendly to someone who is obviously a groomer and a confirmed CP artist because she saw it for herself. On the 10th of October in 2024, she stated that she had no idea that he was a groomer, despite knowing that he was a creep, again, since 2021, and saw the CP multiple times, and still allowed him on her team for years before firing him. This was said 4 days after telling him to stay in contact with her after she fired him. On April 21st of 2025, she said that if she knew the full story with Rox, she wouldn't have left with him. Again, lying about her not knowing that he was a disgusting creep, which she had known since 2020.
Trying to lie to us and not get caught for the things that she had done, showing that she cannot take any accountability even from the Rox situation. She's gone silent and hasn't spoke up about anything, and if she does, it probably will be lies. She's shut down the BlockCrunch server and refused to speak up, and not any of the other mods are speaking up about it. So basically, I'm going to end the video here, because I'm going to wait for
not have, and I've seen a lot of information being spread around that's just false. A lot of people aren't aware of how terrible the situation is and the depth of it, and I've seen a ton of people saying that it's just old information being resurfaced, when it's way, way more than that. Another incredibly important thing to do is to support all of the victims in this. Chip is one of Rox's victims and has been especially helpful with the information that I provided in the last video. And it really saddens me that the victims have to go through all this again because Clover lied to the entire community.
Those are all the clips I've collected as of right now. Anyways, I'm going to throw up the credits for each and every person whose videos or clips I might have used in this video, so that I don't get accused of stealing, because I don't want to. As I have credited in the earlier description, if it weren't for those YouTubers, my information would not be nearly as accurate, and nor would I have the proper images to show you all. Anyways, you guys must be curious as to what my thoughts and what the outcome of my channel will be for the remainder of my existence on YouTube. They'd be like, "But Crystal, what are you gonna do? Because your channel is 90% Dandy's World." And, well, dear viewer, or whoever it is, I will still make Dandy's World related videos, but just to say, gameplay might be a little scarce for the time being. And, yeah. Also, I do plan on doing a skin ranking video soon, so look out for that, I guess. Anyways, so that's all for today. This is my first time doing a video like this, so forgive me if information and other things are all over the place. Goodbye for now, and let's hope for the best for this Dandy's World situation. Until next time, see you guys later. Hey guys, it's me again. So I decided to put some extra screenshots that I didn't put in the video here. Yeah. They're just some extra screenshots that I was supposed to use in the video earlier, but I guess I must have gotten lazy or forgotten to put them in. But yeah, they're there if you want to use them for your commentary video. But like, I'll still leave the credits for the people who I took them from, or more specifically, got them from, I guess. So for now, that's my take on the situation currently. If you guys have any criticisms about this type of editing style, let me know. And until next time, this time for real actually, see you guys in the next video. Bye!